Hello, my lovelies. Christina Wolf here for the new moon card reading and energy update for the period of the new moon period of December 7th to the winter solstice of December 21st. I'm going to be doing a winter solstice card pull party and energy update for the full moon and the winter solstice coming up too. Welcome, Kimberly. Hello. It's been a while. And just letting y'all know, last time I did a card reading was the 23rd of November, right after Thanksgiving, and I was sick then, and I'm kind of still sick now. It's been, my partner has pneumonia, and it's been a mess here at our house. So please say some healing prayers for us. Good morning. I'm happy to see you as well. Let me know what kind of cards you want to pull. I've got my very brand new Magdalene Oracle cards, if anybody's interested. And of course, my spirit animal cards. And I'll be doing the herbal tarot, as always, for the card reading. So this new moon card pull party, we're going to do just like we did with the full moon and the weekly ones that I do, where I do 1, 2, and 3, and then a card for the overall energy of the period of time. And this was the period from December 7th to the winter solstice. Welcome, Rebecca. Say hello, hello, hello. Let me know which card you'd like. You want one of the Mary Magdalene Oracle ones? Okay, beautiful. What about you, Rebecca? Let me know. Let me know what you'd like, okay? I was saying for this new moon, just like with the full moon card pull party, I'm going to have a card for 1, 2, and 3, and then an overall card for the energy of the period, which is December 7th to the winter solstice, which is December 21st. And I'm going to be doing a full moon and winter solstice card reading then as well. So during the new moon is all about kind of planting seeds. It's like the period of time when the sky is dark and the seed is underground. What kind of seeds do you want to plant? You've cleaned out everything from the full moon waning period, and this is why women mostly bleed during the new moon. This is their body's natural way of waning and releasing anything it doesn't need. So the very first card is going to be, and I borrowed these from Inner Goddess Tarot, and I just added my own little spin to it with the 4th card, because I like to do that, you know, give the overall energy influences behind the cards. But the very first card is going to be, what can I let fade out of influence? Like, what's been going on over the last, you know, from the full moon in November to the new moon now? What did I let fade out of influence? And then the second card is going to be, what ideas growing within me? Like, what kind of seeds do I want to plant going forward? And then lastly, the third one is building on that seed. It's going to be, what can I commit to creating? And okay, perfect. You guys want the Mary Magdalene cards. I've never pulled them, so this is like brand new. I've already blessed the cards and everything, but Mary Magdalene has been a very big influence for me, and also with Mother Mary. And I wanted to show you all something really cool too. Okay, so like the 4th of December was my birthday, and we finally, everybody's been sick here, so we didn't celebrate until yesterday. And I wanted to show you these really awesome tapestries that my guy bought me. Here's one. They're from Turkey. They're made in Turkey. This is, oops, spinning it around. This is, of course, Mother Mary. There's one. I just love it. And then here's the other one. The Madonna with baby Jesus. Isn't that beautiful? So if you guys are familiar with the story of the Magdalene, Mary Magdalene. Hello, Bridget. Yes, you can have an animal card. Absolutely. So Kimberly, Rebecca, so they want Magdalene. And Bridget wants an animal card. So the story of Yeshua and Magdalene is that Yeshua being the human form of Jesus, and this whole shift from the patriarchy into the new paradigm is all about moving from like dominant masculine to what's called sacred union. And Yeshua and the story of Yeshua and Magdalene, however mythical, whatever it is, whatever your beliefs are, is the paradigm or the model for sacred union, the new paradigm, which is masculine and feminine coming together, divine union. And so in this time when we're having a lot of upheaval between sacred masculine and sacred feminine, well, actually there's no upheaval there, really. The upheaval is in the toxic masculine and the toxic feminine, and we all have it. We all have all aspects of this in us. This model of the sacred union of Yeshua and Magdalene it's just really something beautiful to tap into. And so anytime I've done like spiritual journeys, or I've been working with somebody to do what's called womb healing or womb listening, and Magdalene is a huge proponent in like healing womb energy. Of course, Mother Mary, like the Hail Mary talks about fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Both are amazing priestesses in womb healing. And in order for us to all tap into our sacred feminine, I think it behooves us to listen to our wombs. That's a whole other, it's integral and yet a whole nother part of the spiritual journey. Like, it may not be calling you at this time, but if it is, I'd be glad to speak to you about it. But Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, is a very huge influence in womb healing energy and healing the sacred feminine. And so I'm really call upon her lately for her healing assistance. As always, I'm going to open up some sacred space here. Today I'm going to burn some cedar and white sage. They're two of the four sacred herbs or plants that Native Americans would burn, the other two being sweetgrass and tobacco, ceremonial tobacco. And all of them, in some form, have a ability to purify and protect. So today I'm going to burn some cedar. I hope I don't kill my allergies here, but I'm going to light this now. And if you've never burnt like tobacco, if you're familiar with like pure tobacco, like a pipe tobacco, it has a very distinct, rich smell to it. My grandfather used to smoke a tobacco pipe, and like a lot of people don't know what that smell is because regular cigarette smoke is very unpure, but tobacco itself has a beautiful like smell to it. If you aren't familiar, many native cultures believe whenever you're going out and pulling plants, you leave tobacco as a gift, as a blessing, like thank you to Mother Earth for her gifts. And so, or if you wish to ask to mentor or learn from a teacher, you give them a gift of tobacco, a little satchel of tobacco. And they understand this is you giving them a gift, asking them for their wisdom. And so just some interesting stuff about tobacco and plant medicine. So here we are. I'm going to figuratively smudge all of us. And we got a good burn here. The last few times I was trying to smudge, it was like the sage just didn't want to work. But I think that had a lot to do with some of the stagnant energy going on. You can figuratively smudge under your feet by touching the top of your feet with a fan. I have a few fans. I'm not using them now for the sake of, actually I can use this little one here. If you were to fan somebody else, okay, I'm just showing you, it's a nice down their back. Always go clockwise around the body. I have cedar coming out in my chair here. So I'm fanning you guys as well, or smudging you guys as well. It's a good burn. Okay. So I'm going to set that there. You can always, whenever you burn something, dispose of it afterward. Don't dump it in the trash. Put it in. I have a special bin here that I take to the yard, and I return it to Mother Earth. And if, let's say that this fire goes out while I am doing a reading here, I can choose to light it up if I want, but if I close out this reading and the smudge is still there, I'm gonna take what's not been burnt and dispose of that as well, because to come back and relight it, that would be like reinvigorating the energy that was from a different time, or it's reigniting old energy. So like when you get a smudge stick, I've seen people burn a smudge stick, and then when it goes out, then they relight it again. I always break up the smudge stick and I put it in a container like this. Something like this. So you make it loose, and you're just using little bits at a time so that you're not wasting sage, okay? Or any other herb or plant that you're choosing to burn, okay? So just a little tidbit there. So let's talk about the energy. The biggest shift, I think, has been the shift from Mercury going direct. It was in retrograde for a couple weeks from November 16th till December 6th, which was Thursday. And I don't know about you, but like sometimes when people fear Mercury retrograde because they worry about inconveniences, they worry about travel plans getting interrupted, they worry about misunderstandings, that sort of thing. I always find Mercury retrograde to be a difficult journey, but also a very meaningful journey. And there's the last few times I haven't had so many technological snafus, but I will say this particular period was ungodly for the amount of technological difficulties I had. I don't know if y'all are familiar. I always post his stuff, the Pele report from Kai Pacha. I recently joined his New Paradigm Astrology community so that I can, you know, become more versed in the planets, and I really love the way he presents astrology. He follows Jeffrey Green's new he calls it New Paradigm Astrology, but it's evolutionary astrology. Like his Pele reports are astrology for the soul, and I totally use that same concept of the energy helping us on our journey, our spiritual journey, for helping us go through rites of passage. And whether we realize the energy is there or not, it's influencing us. Kind of like gravity. We don't have to understand it. It just is. It is there. So anyway, speaking of Pele, or Kai Pacha, I joined his group, and I had so many technology, like apparently mine and several other people's requests to join went to their spam folder. Then I couldn't log in because I guess my email is a different email than what's on my PayPal, blah, 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 blah. I mean, these are examples of Mercury retrograde, okay? Now, if you find that you're getting too much, like things are just like you're trying to push too much or effort too much and you're having issues, that's one thing. But if you're going through like obstacles, obstructions, and it's Mercury retrograde, it's a little bit different. It's kind of like the thing that you want, it's determining if you really want it, or if in the obstruction of having it is where the real lesson is, if that makes sense, okay? So I had to like kind of, I was kind of being like super pushy, like, hey, I sent it to like three different email addresses to their tech people, like, because I really wanted to be part of the community. And there was so much in, you know, I was thinking back to Abraham Hicks, where, you know, if you're efforting too much, it's time to relax, and, you know, it'll move forward. Maybe there's a reason why you don't get in at that time. Maybe, you know, there's a difficulty for a reason, and you'll see it further on down the line. These are the lessons of Mercury retrograde. So I am super excited to be part of Kai Pacha's astrology group, and hopefully I'll have more knowledgeable readings. Right now, I felt like this week, this reading, I really needed to just be intuitive with you, because that's where the real knowledge comes from anyway. And so the big thing, the big shift, Mercury went direct on the 6th. So, and the new moon was in Sagittarius on the 7th. That was Friday. That shift from Scorpio moon energy to Sagittarius new moon energy is like huge. It's a big weight off of our shoulders, right? As far as our internal perspective. We're thinking bigger. We're thinking the like kind of year-end type thing. What do we want to do for the future? This is perfect for new moon energy, right? So not only are we thinking of just from now until the winter solstice, we're thinking now until like the year of 2019. What are you wanting to do for 2019? I know people get like kind of weirded out, like, oh, that's a lot. What's intuitively coming up for you? For me, intuitively, it was like, I am all about committing to radical self-love. What does that mean? That means like everything from the negative thoughts that I'm thinking, to treating my body better with better food, to engaging only in relationships that are nourishing, this sort of thing. And then when you commit to those sort of things, you know, you pick your words or the thing that intuitively is coming up for you. And that's the thing that you commit to. This is what new moon in Sagittarius is asking you to do. So you may also feel lots of energy coming in. It's really busy right now. Scorpio is influencing Venus, and it's influencing Mercury, which is gone direct. And Scorpio is still very intense. And Venus in Scorpio is all about like, think of Pepe Le Pew and the cat. Like, Venus wants to connect. And Venus in Scorpio is the cat going, get away from me. You may be feeling that. Like, people are wanting to connect and you're thinking, oh dear God, like, whoa, let me go. I just want to go be alone. If you're feeling that, don't worry. Have no fear. It's just the energy of Venus and Scorpio. You may want to have a little more freedom. Go do the things that are making you happy. You know, you may feel obligated to commit to go to multiple things for the holidays. And if you want to experience them, those experiences are there for you. Something came to me. It said, this is a time for experiences. I went to a Christmas party with my judge at work, and I was thinking, I really at the time maybe didn't want to go, but then I thought, why not? I'm gonna go. And I went and I ran into several other judges, and it was just a very nice experience. And so they're there if you wish to have them. If you commit to an experience, like meaning, you know, a party or something, and you go in with this attitude of engaging and enjoying, and not with, oh, I don't want to be here. If you really don't want to go, don't go, right? So it's time for experiences if you want them, which seems counterintuitive to this idea of the winter solstice and going within and inner knowledge. Okay, sometimes you can still live in the world and be in the world and experience the same things with a different perspective. Okay, so what do I mean by that? You can go to these Christmas parties and be at the party from a place of calm and inner knowing, and maybe connected to self. And think of like a tree in the winter. I don't know, I'm from New England, and whenever people tap into a tree for maple syrup, what it is, and think of like myrrh. Myrrh is the resin from inside a tree. whenever it's wintertime, the resin, the sap from the tree kind of sinks below and goes back into the root. Think of you as like that, your inner knowingness is like that resin. It's not necessarily available to go outward into the world, but it's still there within you, and you're in these experiences from that place of deep inner knowing. That's what I'm saying about going within and being in experiences from that place of inner knowing, from that winter hibernation place. That doesn't necessarily mean you stay in your house in your pajamas, although if you want to, great. But don't meaning make around, oh, I'm too busy. Like I was starting to feel that way a little bit. Like there's lots of energy coming in. It may be hard to slow down. If you can't understand that it's a choice, for some reason you feel obligated to have these experiences. And when you do experience them, do it from the place of inner knowing and being the sap deep in the roots, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it may be a little bit more difficult to clear space. So use that ability to be out in the world and still in a place of comfort. If you have to use that visualization of having a deep root and being in sap, great, do that. The other piece I wanted to mention, Mars is still in Pisces, which to me is kind of uncomfortable energy, but it also is, because it's uncomfortable, Mars may be a little more romantic. You may feel the need to go out and experience romantic things, like, which is fine. You know, think of It's a Wonderful Life, the element of romance around Christmas time. But in the doing of things, you may get the urge to work a lot more. And I felt that, like, I was very compelled to work extra hours in the last several weeks. And I was like, why? Like, where is this coming from? That may be the Mars and Pisces, like to go out and get things because you're worried, like, oh, I need to get things for the holidays, that sort of stuff. Don't get caught up in the materialism of things, though. If you want to get the things, cool, but be okay with it, right? I think that's the general goal. So Chris says, pipe smells good. Mama liked it. Yes, applewood is good. It smells wonderful. Yes, I did get new cards. They're the Magdalene cards, these ones. If you'd like one of those, I can get those. If not, you're welcome to get the herbal or the animal card. So I'm going to check all the new comments here. Welcome, Petavon. How are you? So, yep, Chris says, I went to the Christmas party last night. She was nervous, just breathed in and found that calm within. Yes, exactly. Okay, wonderful. So Chris is at work. She's going to check the rest later. Beautiful. Okay, so, again, this is the time to feel into the big picture. The other thing I wanted to mention, 2019 still has Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn. This whole time, Saturn is kind of, they call it the Saturn return. It's sort of like that midlife crisis, that like the difficult lesson. But if you accomplish something during this influence of Saturn, it's kind of like going up a mountain on a clear, bright, beautiful day. It may be easier than going up a mountain during a blizzard, okay? So the accomplishment of going up the mountain during a blizzard feels like a greater feat. That's kind of like accomplishing anything during Saturn, Saturn's influence. So Saturn is all about structure. You may have felt huge patterns of dismantling of structure, which may feel destructive, but in the end, it's part of the divine masculine. Saturn is all about like protective father figure kind of thing, rules, structures, safety, security, and things that brought you safety, security, whatever notions are going away, but his influence is still going to be here all through next year. So when you're looking at the big picture, it's going to be all about, okay, if this dismantled, this was destructive, what do I want to structure? This is a good time to put everything that fell apart, it left space for something new. So what do you want to put there? And really listen to yourself this time. You already knew the last time when you built up something and it didn't work out. So take that wisdom and build now, knowing what you know. Okay, so you know now what you should have known then, and it's time to build there. Okay, so let's get to the card reading. I'm going to open up some sacred space here, and I'm going to call in the winds of the east. We thank you, Spirit of Eagle. This is the place of our birth, the place of the rising sun, the fire energy. We thank you so much for the bird's eye view and for being the place of the void, the place from which we all come from, and the place to which we all return. This is the place of our father's lineage, and we welcome all the well ancestors and their wisdom. Aho, thank you. To the winds of the south, this is spirit of snake and all the earth creatures, the four-legged, the two-legged, spirit of wolf, spirit of mouse. We welcome you in. This is earth energy. This is the summertime of our life. This is the noontime of our life. This is being in full bloom. This is childhood. This is just understanding the ability to travel humbly close to Mother Earth and to know her wisdom. We thank you so much. This is the place of our father's mother's lineage. We welcome in all the well ancestors from this lineage. Aho, thank you. To the winds of the west, to the place of the setting sun. This is the water element. This is our emotions, spirit of jaguar, spirit of whale, spirit of fish, shrimp, all the little teeny tiny creatures in the water. We thank you for the ability to glean all of the lessons of our rites of passage, place of releasing, of letting go. This is the fall of our lifetime, the adulthood of our lifetime. And we thank you so much for helping us to release this. This is the place of our mother's lineage. All the well ancestors from our mother's lineage, we thank you for welcoming you in your wisdom. Aho. Now to the winds of the north. This is air element, spirit of the ancient ones, the caribou, elk, and buffalo, and spirit of hummingbird, lightness of being. This is the place of all of our ancestors, and all the lineages of the healing shamans, Caro Indians, the First Nation healers, all the healers of the Druids, and all the beautiful healers like of Mother Earth, and the original shamans in Siberia, and anyone else that was a healer in any other culture. We welcome you in. This is the place of inner knowing. This is the winter time of our life. This is when we become the sage, the crone, the old wise woman, and to the old wise men. We welcome you in to be an elder. This is a place of our elders, the elderhood of our life, and where we become so solid as we are the sap that goes within to our roots. And we thank all of our ancestors who are part of our roots. We think this is the place of our mother's father's lineage, and we thank them for being here. All the well ancestors. We thank you. And Mother Earth, always, Pachamama, Gaia, we love you. We take care of you as much as we can. We give blessings to you for all the blessings and love and nourishment and life-giving abundance you give to us. Thank you. And to Father Sky and the star nations and all that is, we thank you for the space within and the space without and the space between us. We thank you for just all that is and being the one true creator and great spirit. Thank you. Oh, Mother Earth, we appreciate Grandmother Moon and Grandfather Sun for the cycles that they give us. Thank you. So now that we've opened up some sacred space, I'm also welcoming, of course, Spirit of Mary Magdalene, who shall give us her wisdom shortly, and all the spirit animals, but in particular, I'd like to welcome Wolf Energy. Wolf Spirit, you're always there for me. I appreciate you. I'm going to pull those aside in a moment here. And let me pull the cards now for the next few weeks. What do we need to know, Great Spirit? What do we need to know? What can I let fade out of my existence and out of my influence? What ideas is now forming within me, and what can I commit to create going forward? What sort of energy do I need to do all of this, to know all of this? All right. So, number one, what can I let fade in and out of my influence? Number two, what idea is growing within me? Number three, what can I commit to create going forward? And what is the overall energy influence? All right, so first card. Oof, beautiful. Interesting. It says, what can I let fade out of my influence? And it's the Empress. Okay, Dong Quai is the herb. All right. If those of you who are unfamiliar, Dong Quai is a herb particularly known for helping women balance out their hormones. So this is a lot to do with the divine feminine. And I'm curious what it's going to say. Okay, the Empress is a Mother Nature herself. Sitting as the queen of all earthly life, pregnant, she embodies the fulfillment of the creative impulse in the universe. Behind her flows the clear stream of intuition that is continuation of the blue gown of the High Priestess. She wears a yellow gown which symbolizes the understanding and intelligence of nature. The Empress's crown represents the 12 signs of the zodiac and the many expressions of life which they signify. Ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty, harmony, quality, and love, the Empress seeks pleasure and the fulfillment of her heart's desires. Her law is the law of love. She asks us to feel the co-creatorship with the divine powers around and within us. She sees no difference between spirit and nature, for she knows that the physical world celebrates the infinite divine spirit. So this is saying this is what we need to let fade out. What I'm saying is this may be stuff that we're already familiar with and we already know that this is the way to be. So as we're coming into knowing about moving forward, we already take all this knowledge. It's not something we need to keep completely in our forefront, and we just tuck it within. It becomes the sap that becomes part of the roots, and move forward. Dong Quai is considered an energy builder for the yin, or feminine creative energy. If those of you who know anything about Kundalini energy, it comes from your root chakra and it builds all the way up. Something I didn't know, it was very interesting, is in the body, when we typically think of Kundalini energy, it's very masculine. It comes from the root upward. The flow of energy upward is masculine energy. Think of penetrative, right? But the flow of feminine energy is downward, and that goes out. And most of us don't think of the flow of feminine and masculine. So the point I'm trying to make is the yin energy, when we build it up, it comes from the top going down. So you're going to feel this need to release and let go of a lot of stuff during this feminine time. This process of releasing during the letting go, think of having your period, really releasing a lot of stuff, is a very feminine process of letting go. So that's what we're letting fade out of our influence. That's the feminine process of releasing anything we know we didn't need, and building up yin energy is allowing yin energy to move forward. When I was getting migraines, what it is too much masculine energy pushing upward, and it stays right here. Women who have a lot of menstrual migraines, it's too much masculine energy. So I had to start working on letting the flow of Kundalini go downward. And when I started doing these meditations of moving in the feminine energy, because we have inherently in our culture, we have too much masculine energy going, and the feminine is stunted or suppressed or muted. Get that yin energy flowing. And that's what this is saying. The process of releasing is getting yin energy flowing. So let that stuff, when you let stuff fade out of existence, that's yin energy, okay? The next one, what idea is growing within me? So think about this. In order for you to grow a baby within your womb, your creative womb space, you have to be already empty, right? You can't fill up if you're not empty. And you're building up to nourishing something. You're holding that space, womb space, being empty, releasing, having a space to hold what you want to create. That is the true essence of feminine, divine feminine, right? So what idea is growing within you? This is hilarious. I don't think it's hilarious. Like, Spirit's funny. Raspberry leaf, Queen of Wands. Raspberry leaf is a very, 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 very much needed and used herb for pregnant women. It's a tonic for the uterus. Anytime you want to have a healthy womb and you want to clear out any kind of tumors, endometriosis, anything like that, midwives use raspberry leaf during childbirth to help the uterus to not rupture, to be able to go back to its size, to have the ability to return to that original space after having a baby, right? So what idea is growing within me? The Queen of Wands. Let's see what Queen of Wands is all about here. And the Queen of Wands is ruled by raspberry leaf. And so lots of feminine energy coming in. The ability to do while staying in feminine energy, I think, is, again, that idea of go out, have your experiences, be in the doing, right? But be of a feminine receiving nature, having the experience, not creating the experience, okay? So the Queen of Wands represents the watery yin aspect of fire. She is depicted as a Native American whose earthiness is symbolized by her fertility. She's a woman in full possession of her feminine powers and radiates an aura of profound inner calm and groundedness. So we're talking about fertility for the card that is asking, what do we want to create? If you want to be fertile, make sure what you're creating is in a space of feminine groundedness, okay? So if you're going to do it from that, you know, the space of inner knowing, the saps down in the roots, know who you are, stay in that energy. Queen may have a tendency to allow herself to become inundated and overwhelmed with practical matters. The Queen should know how to delegate. If you're inundated with practical matters, it's time to give away some of your responsibilities. Overall, it's for you, but allow others to do things for you, okay? She can find deeper satisfaction and rewards if she remembers to cultivate and maintain her innate feminine intuitive powers. Yeah. She may also need to make more time for shared intimacy and for allowing the inner child to emerge in a playful way. This is totally speaking to the get away from being so busy that you don't know how to have fun. Many of us mothers in mother energy, in running a household, we get to the point where we're so busy that the idea of having fun, stopping and having fun, is anxiety provoking because we have so much to do. How can we take a vacation if there's work to be done? This exact energy of overdoing is what has drained us culturally as women, drained the divine feminine. Because what are women designed to do? They're designed to get calm, to create space, and to allow into that space what we want. We're not going and doing and driving ourselves crazy. We have to slow down, get quiet, let go, release, and allow what we really want to take place. If we're filling it up with a whole bunch of crap and busyness, we're not going to receive that nourishment that we need from our relationships, from you know, how can we bother even asking for what we want if we're not making the space to receive it? Okay, so this is saying make sure you make time for play. This is saying make sure you get off the hamster wheel and allow yourself to enjoy your experiences. Okay, raspberry leaf helps one tune into the child within and allows natural enthusiasm for life. So if you're so busy and stressed and you're not allowing for enthusiasm, this is totally saying this is what you need to create in the next couple weeks leading up to Christmas, okay? Raspberry has many uses that are considered beneficial to women. The fruit is used as a blood tonic and helps nourish the female reproductive system. I will say, when you honor your womb energy, really listen to it, everything else falls into place. In Western herbalism, raspberry leaf tea is universally used, either alone or in combination with other herbs and formulas for women. If you've never had raspberry tea, you can easily get it on the internet. I prefer to have it loose. You can go to Tivana and buy one of their little single-use cups. You put the loose leaves in the bottom. You don't want to have the tea boiled, the water boiled just below the boiling, okay? Put it in, let it sit, and then most people don't steep their tea long enough to get the full benefits. You want to make raspberry tea as pungent as you can make it to get its full benefit. It's not going to taste like a raspberry flavor. It's going to taste like a really leafy flavor. Of a true tea leaf flavor. So then you let it drain out and you drink it. I drank that like crazy over the last few months, and it's helped me shrink a fibroid tumor. It's helped me shrink a cyst on my left ovary, and my endometriosis is gone. And when you have bright red blood when you're bleeding, that's a sign that your womb is healthy. It's fresh, it's bright, it's not brown, it's not heavy, it's just bright red. That's considered your life force, right? So raspberry leaf tea helps you with that energy. And when women are overdoing, when we're not listening to our womb, when we're not slowing down and creating space and allowing, we're caretakers, right? So we don't allow others to care for us. How can we care for others if we don't allow them to care for us? That's what we need to do here, right? To build up this yin energy, right? So, moving forward, what can I commit to create going forward? The Two of Pentacles, yellow dog. All right, let's look this up. A lot of earth energy here. Pentacles, yellow dog. Not too familiar with yellow dog. Let's see what it has to say. An islander is dancing on the beach with a lemniscate, symbol of infinity, okay? Her pink gown speaks of her compassion, and the ankh around her neck shows her connection to ever-abounding spirit. Okay, what came to me right away when it was talking about infinity, when you master masculine up energy and feminine going down energy, it's the figure eight, right? And Kundalini energy is two serpents coming up and hitting you right in the third eye, right? This is saying master your energy. When you do this, when you take care of yourself, inherently in our culture is already overly masculine. So when you really tend to this feminine, slowing down, moving downward, releasing energy, when you're in a experience in a party and you're receiving all kinds of crap, that's too much masculine stimuli. So the releasing, letting go, and going within is the feminine. If you focus on that, you'll create that balance and you'll get into that infinite energy, okay? So it's really saying take the time to balance out too much masculine with the feminine so that you can stay in infinite energy flow. Okay, her pink gown speaks to her compassion, and the ankh around her neck shows her connection to ever-bounding spirit. You're always connected to spirit. When one thing I had to learn, this is straight from Mary Magdalene. Okay, I got a download from her. The mother wound is I'm so exhausted. I can't do it all. I don't have time. I can't be emotionally available because I don't have enough for me. That's totally when the womb is, when you're not connected to Mother Earth and womb energy. I got a download from Mary Magdalene a long time ago, maybe 2 months ago, that was saying when you connect to Mother Earth and feminine energy, it's spirit that's infinite. How can you be drained if you're connected to infinite energy? This is totally saying you can't be. The only way you can be drained is if you are not connected to infinite energy, right? So it's telling you, connect to this infinite energy, both masculine and feminine. That's the sacred union Yeshua and Magdalene are talking about, right? The boats in the background move with the flow of the water in the air. They know how to take advantage of shifts and changes in order to realize continually a new balance. There's definitely always going to be shifts. You know, the thing that worked last time may not work this time. You intuitively know what you need to do. So listen to it. The islander is learning how to maintain equilibrium through the perpetual changes of life. That's exactly what I'm referring to, equilibrium. If there's too much masculine, you need to balance it out with feminine. If there's too much feminine, equal it out with doing something masculine. Going out and doing, don't just sit there and think. If you created something in the space, then now it's time to put it out into the world, right? So, as stable and immovable as the physical world appears, it is constantly in a state of flux. Look at the moon, look at the sun, look at our ability to revolve around the sun, right? Just as the ocean moves all the greenery and sand on the ocean floor, so does the wind, rain, sun, moon. Our thoughts and actions change and move the world within which we live. So, this is asking you to commit to creating equilibrium in your life, okay? If you've got too much going on, it's time to go within. If you have to go somewhere and experience some things, commit to adding in the peace yourself. You bring the peace to that situation, right? Okay, the islander knows it is important to let go internally and externally those things no longer needed. Letting go is a very feminine aspect, very feminine energy, very yin energy, very going downward, releasing out of the womb. Think of menstruating. Menstruation is totally the physical act of releasing that which you didn't choose to create. You don't need it anymore, right? So weakness and stagnation will result from not using the opportunities that life presents, okay? So again, there's experiences there for you. Life is presenting you with experiences. If you stay connected, you can't be drained by those experiences. So go out there in the world, enjoy yourself, feel the joy of it, because you bring the joy with your infinite connection to source, okay? So let's go on. I want to talk a little bit about yellow dock. Spiritually, yellow dock will help to free inner reserves of strength and fortitude. If you're feeling really drained, ask for the essence of yellow dock to help you connect infinitely to source. Especially if you're afraid of change, stuck in old conditions, it will help clear out some of the old sludge and rebuild a stronger inner self who's not afraid of dancing with life. This is straight from the book here. Yellow dock root is used to treat skin diseases, liver disorders, and iron deficiency. Liver is the root of anger. It's also the place where you release toxins from the body. It's the only organ in the body that helps you truly process toxins. So you want to take care at the root, your liver, of how to eliminate and release. If you don't have your liver up to par, it can't balance your hormones. It can't help you get your feminine hormones, the estrogen and the progesterone in order. Take care at the root, okay? Affirmation, I flow and work with the changes and diversity in my life. Totally feeling the need for some feminine balancing energy here. Okay, now lastly, the energy of the overall energy of this period. Queen of Pentacles, very earthy, feminine energy. I mean, look at this. We've had the Empress, we've had Queen of Wands, Two of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Pentacles. Really saying tap into divine feminine to help you get this balance. So Queen of Pentacles. And it makes you like softer, gentler, allowing. Men respond differently. Look at Marilyn Monroe. She's softer, gentler. Men responded to wanting to open a door for her more so than, you know, and many women, I'm very masculine naturally. When I tap into that feminine energy, I'm a totally different person with my partner. I receive so much more. When I'm in masculine energy, we're bickering and fighting, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm supposed to take the lead. And for me, who's very masculine, it feels awkward. Like I'm giving up control. But the aspect of trusting divine masculine to care for you is like an immensely freeing feeling. Okay, so where am I going with this? Queen of Pentacles, Marshmallow. The Queen of Pentacles is a sensuous woman who's very much in touch with the earth and physical life. Something else to understand. Up here, as Carolyn Mace would say, anything above the third chakra is the world behind your eyes. The heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. Okay, that's the world behind it. It's very spiritual, very metaphysical. Anything below the heart's kind of the thing that joins the spiritual world with the physical world, right? So then you have your third chakra, the solar plexus. Then you have your second, the sacral, and then the root chakra. The top half is considered masculine energy, and then when you go below is feminine. Getting in your body, embodiment exercises. I think this is saying, get in your body, go out for a walk, do some yoga, do something, because, well, I don't want to talk negative, but back in the day when they were burning witches, anything of the physical flesh is considered sinful, and they inherently believed women were sinful at the core. But it really is going back to this idea that feminine is in this 3D physical realm, and what do women do from their womb? Bring that which is masculine to the physical world. The airy-fairy, you know, we are the only beings on earth that bring a human soul from the metaphysical realm into physical life and birth a baby out into the world. So this is saying, really get in touch with your body, okay? Be in your body. Be okay with being in your body. And love your body. Like this is totally coming through for me too. I've had so much body shame and loathing over the last few years. When you get in your head and you're in a lot of trauma response, you disembody, you disassociate, you don't enjoy sensual pleasures, you don't want to be touched, you don't enjoy sex, you don't feel sexy. This is that essence of embodiment. Like, again, Marilyn Monroe was very good at embodying feminine essence, and this is saying where you get your joyfulness from getting into your body, knowing how to nurture yourself and your others. Her pink head covering is representative of her compassion. Compassion's come up a couple times, right? Her red garment shows she's willing to get in touch with physical resources and put them to use. Ooh. She has the ability to be focused and direct in getting things done. That physical resources, that's kind of that Mars in Pisces, like materialism. You're going out, you want to gather some materials. Maybe you want to work a little bit to gather more stuff so that you have more resources to use, but do it in a feminine way, right? She has the ability to be focused and direct in getting things done. She is the personified Earth Mother and wants to see, feel, touch, and smell life. Again, there's that download I had that there's time for experiences if you want them. Don't just sit in your little ivory tower trying to recharge, okay? Maybe you can get recharged by some of these experiences. Maybe go on a Christmas tree lighting is nice. Like, you didn't get a chance to enjoy this last year. This year is a time to do it. So, all right. What was I saying? She has the ability to be focused, get things done. She's personified Earth Mother and wants to see, feel, touch, and smell life. If advice is needed, she's the wise woman to consult. All right. However, she must watch she does not interfere with others' choices or think that she knows what is best, which might be considered a very masculine trait, kind of mansplaining things. Not to be negative, but like in overly masculine. When I'm overly masculine, I'm pretty abrupt. I like to tell people what to do. I'm forceful with my opinions. Maybe that's not what's needed right now. Okay. Otherwise, here we go. If she knows what's, if she thinks she knows what's best, otherwise she'll be drained. She'll feel drained, empty, ungrounded, and uncertain about her nurturing role. When you aren't tapped into infinite source, you'll feel drained. Whenever you feel drained, it's just a sign you need to tap into infinite source. All right, she must learn how to carry through with her primary responsibilities and when to let go of situations that are out of her control. By observing nature, she will see what it means to be a faithful and loving nurturer. What else? What could possibly be a more feminine role than a faithful and loving nurturer, right? All right. Marshmallow root can be used as a means to alleviate grief, fear, and other harsh emotions. Think about marshmallow. Marshmallow, kind of like slippery elm, has the ability to create a coating over mucous membranes. You drink marshmallow tea if you've got a real sore throat. It creates a soothing barrier between you and what's bothering you, an irritant, okay? It's a highly nutritive tonic herb. Its softening and emollient qualities are due to its high content of what's called mucilage. Again, it creates mucus. Mucus may feel like a nuisance, like when we have colds and all this other stuff. It's the body's way of creating a barrier, of soothing barrier, right? Any kind of grief is held in the lungs. Usually in winter, when we go within, we're feeling that grief that we're not dealing with the rest of the year, that's sitting there stagnant. Release that grief. Let it out. Get, cough it up. It's part of, marshmallow is good at lung ailments. It's also good for ulcers, difficult or painful urination, cough, and tuberculosis. Ulcers are essentially irritations on the inner lining of your stomach or even your intestines. Mucus helps to heal the lining of the stomach. So essentially, this is saying put a barrier between you and that which irritates you. You add in that nourishing barrier. Okay? I feel the joy of being on the earth. I am nurtured and nurture others with my bliss. Ooh. Lots of feminine energy. And I think it's funny because it's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's like, of course, we're invoking Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene is the essence of feminine energy and a very healing energy. Let me set this aside here and I will pull the individual cards now. I'm going to pull one animal card for Bridget, and then for Chris, I'm going to pull you a new Mary Magdalene card since you expressed an interest in that. Okay. Oh, and an animal medicine story I wanted to mention. I believe it was Thanksgiving. I was returning my boys to their father, going to Houston, and right across the way, I saw a hawk. Like here in Texas, it's very hard to differentiate when they're flying high in the sky. We have a lot of what we call them Texas vultures, and they're very beautiful in the sky. But when they land, they're quite unpleasant to look at. They're very stunning animals, but many people confuse buzzards or vultures with hawks in the sky. Well, this one literally flew like right in front of my car, and I saw its beautiful like brown burgundy feathers and the white underbelly, and I was like, wow, you know, definitely hawk medicine is is a sight to see. And then I went to the tree lighting at I had to work it, of course. I didn't have to, but I chose to work it. And a beautiful white egret flew over. Egrets are a heron, a type of heron. And the Native Americans find herons to be a sign of abundance. If they saw a heron before a hunt, they were sure to get a good kill. Because herons are very skilled hunters, but they're also known for their ability to withstand steady emotions during deep, powerful currents. So think of water as being emotional, and herons would stand in the middle of a river during very heavy currents, and they could fish just standing there walking and jab their little beak in and grab whatever they need and get what they want. And they're very good hunters. They're very precise. So they're able to stay steady during deep currents. And so I found that to be a very auspicious feminine trait, to stay steady during deep currents. So this is going to be for Bridget. Let's see, what did I pick here? Ooh, groundhog spirit. Let's see, what do we have to say? What does groundhog want to tell us? Time to let go. Here we go. This is all about releasing, right? Feminine energy, releasing. Literally, it literally says time to let go. And make way for the new, right? We're about to ring in the new year, so like perfect, right? All right, 31 here. What does this say? Mr. Groundhog. Time to let go. Endings lead to beginnings, and death is a part of life. So Groundhog Spirit is here to let you know that it is time to accept the natural ending of something that is no longer serving you. We love to hold on to what is familiar, but the new needs space to arrive so growth can occur. This is totally what we're talking about. Clearing out, holding space, that ability to be empty and wait. I know this sounds weird, but to wait to be impregnated is like the essence of feminine, right? What do we want to grow? What are we holding space for? What are you emptying out and wanting to create? When you let go, what do you want to be there? When Groundhog Spirit appears, it is a sign there is something in your present situation you need to let go of so that something new can be born. Something that will far better serve you now. And you have the wisdom now that you didn't before, okay? When Groundhog sees his shadow, he retreats to his den. So too might you yearn for a little more time to say goodbye and transition into the new. However, change is coming and it is good, so let go of your resistance. The soul is ready. The ego might not be, but the soul is ready, okay? Spring brings many blessings, and what must die will always be reborn in a new form that will be right for you. Life requires change and detachment. Say farewell to whatever once served you and get ready for something amazing to take its place. Spirit is already sending it your way. So, like, I feel like this is just an extension of what we've been talking about, okay? Get in that feminine essence energy, okay? Now, let's see, what does Mary Magdalene have to say? All right, that card was for Bridget, beautiful groundhog spirit. Thank you so much. And let me tell you, when I first opened these cards, they all stuck together, and I don't know what the significance of that is. I had to literally go through and peel them apart myself. And I think in the process of doing that, I infused it with some of my own energy. So let's see. Maybe it's saying, this is extra special energy, you know. Not everyone gets to see it. You have to actually make the effort to look for it. All right. So, blessings from Mary Magdalene. So what does she have to tell us? It's going to be for Kimberly, Rebecca, and Bridget. Not Bridget, Chris. Kimberly, Rebecca, and Chris. Time. And I've never really read with these cards, so let's see how this goes. I have a feeling it's going to go just fine. Beautifully. Okay, so this is for Kimberly. This is for Rebecca. And this is for Chris. Okay, Kimberly, the prophet. Let me look up the prophet. Let's see, what does the prophet have to say? Oof. All unfolds in perfect time, and all you need to know is revealed at the most perfect moment. Be patient and trust, for angelic forces are at work in your life right now. Feel the presence of the goddess within you. Ask her to clear your mind so that you may hear her guidance within your heart. The goddess speaks through feelings that stir within you. Feel her pull your heartstrings as she bathes you in her healing light. She will receive a sudden inspiration when you least expect it, and this will lead to a most positive outcome. Be prepared for a pleasant surprise. Yes. So, this is saying everything happens in due time. Stay in that allowing energy. Don't force it. Be in that, infinite wisdom, the feminine energy. Just keep going. Okay, keep going with this concept of balance. If you have something that you're waiting on, it's going to happen. Just give it time. Okay. Oh, good card. I like these. These are really simple. So this next one's for Rebecca. Miracles. Your determination, commitment, and perseverance is about to pay off, and all you have worked towards will soon manifest. It will soon be time to celebrate your achievements. However, you are cautioned not to get too elated. Thank the universe for all you achieve and keep focused. Do not lose sight of your original purpose and intentions. Keep in mind that all you do should not only serve you, but also those around you. In doing this, the universe will continue to guide you and offer its assistance. Visualize your work and influence reaching larger numbers of people. Imagine this happening with ease and only in ways that make you feel comfortable. It takes no more effort to think big than to think small, and remember that a miracle is always possible no matter what situation you find yourself in. This is saying that you've got to allow spirit to take care of things that you're trying to take care of. Okay? Miracles are things that occur whether we think we deserve them or not, right? There's grace in miracles. And there's work for you to do on a bigger scale. So just keep that in mind. You'll know what that means. Okay. Now, and this last one's for Chris. Co-creation. A new opportunity will present itself over the coming week, which at first may seem beyond your financial means or expertise. Yet this opportunity would not present itself if you were not capable of handling it. Again, the soul is ready, the ego may not be. It will work for you provided you are flexible in the methods you adopt. More importantly, keep in mind that anything of lasting value is always a co-creation between you and God. So there's parts of it that are what you need to do, and the other you need to leave up to spirit, okay? See yourself in a spiritual partnership with the divine creator and ask to be shown the ways and means of accomplishing your mission. When making a decision to sit quietly and ask your higher self, it's funny, I was just going to say, you got to get quiet and find a way to allow in the guidance from spirit, okay? Make a decision to sit quietly and ask your higher self and God to help you make the most appropriate one. Remember also that perseverance and commitment are major factors in any success. Acknowledge your fears and perceived shortcomings and then go for it. You will not fail provided you always remember that all you do is a co-creation. So something's going to come up for you and you're going to be worried if it's too big, but remember, the part that's too big for you, that's the part that spirit's going to handle. So you're good. All right. Let me check all these comments over here. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it, Bridget. Yay. Hello, Mary. Welcome. Aw, I truly appreciate you too, Kimberly. Aw, beautiful. You have a wonderful week too. Yes, Mary, I can pull you a card. Yay! Okay, Chris, you're back. Woohoo! I just read your card for co-creation. In fact, I'm going to pull one more card for Mary. Let's see what this says. The real you. As humans, we are so attached to our physical world that we often lose sight of our true nature. In attaching your identity and sense of worth to worldly status and achievements, you have lost touch with the real you. Something inside you yearns to reconnect. You've got to start doing a more spiritual practice, some sacred daily practices, connecting to source, okay? That's the real you, the divine you, the higher self. Something inside you yearns to reconnect, okay? Pay attention to your feelings and start to reclaim the many beautiful qualities you possess, the unique qualities you have for so long repressed and ignored. You know what they are. They're the ones that you are worried about what other people think, okay? Let it go. Let yourself be you. It's safe to be you, right? Lighten up and have fun. Laughter is the best medicine for you at this time. Let go of all you think is right and wrong and all you think you should do and just be you. As your true nature reemerges, you'll feel inspired and discover a new way of looking at life. In turn, you will achieve greater success and feel a greater sense of fulfillment. Nurture yourself physically, spiritually, and emotionally. There is so much to be grateful for and so much in life to explore. Wow, what a good card. All right. Well, lovely ladies, I am so glad to have come back and been here. It's been a little while. I'm going to be doing another card reading the 21st, I think. That's for the full moon and the winter solstice. So let me double check here on the date there. I believe it's the 21st. Hope you can join me. I know it's right near the holidays and everybody's a little crazy, but take time for yourself. And that's kind of what I'm doing. Let me double check here on the date. Give me 1 second while I'm looking this up. And okay, I'm doing it the 22nd because it's a Saturday. Yep. The actual full moon, I believe, is on the 21st, or maybe the 22nd. Depends on where you are in the world. So that will be, ooh, and then of course this is going to be a good one because According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, the moon has been full on the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere only 10 times since the year 1793. So this full moon on the winter solstice is a big deal. So big energy. Think of that. So do your due diligence, kind of honor yourself, stick to the feminine essence energy during this period, and then come back to, come to the full moon and the winter solstice, paying attention to the cycles. It's a very feminine thing to be cyclical, right? We believe it or not, when we're in touch with ourselves, we follow our cycle, right? Our menstrual cycle, the moon cycles. It's a feminine energy. The sun is very linear, straight across the board. It happens, the sun comes up, or down, whether, whatever the weather is, regardless. But the moon has cycles, and we follow the feminine aspect of the moon or the masculine aspect of the sun. The two are in balance. One rises, the other, goes down. One rises, one sets, etc. The cycle of life is there for a reason. So let yourself be in balance. I think that's the big deal. Be in balance. So thank you for sharing this time with me. I love you guys. I'm hoping the next time I talk to you, I'll be feeling a lot better. I've still got quite a bit of congestion going on. So much love to you. May you be well. And I hope to see you on the 22nd. So bye for now.